Good evening, and welcome to the Henry Schein Dental Academy webinar series. My name is Corinne, and I will be your moderator. We are excited to welcome Ashley Flynn, Brand Promise Advocate with eAssist, as our speaker today. She will be discussing dental billing processes for practice profits. Before we get started, we do have a few reminders for you. At any point during the webinar, if you have questions, please type them into the Q&A section of your control panel, and we will answer them live at the end. Henry Schein is not offering CE credit for viewing or attending this presentation live or on demand. And this webinar is sponsored by eAssist. Ashley, welcome, and thank you for being with us tonight.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. So, yep, as Corinne mentioned, I am Ashley Flynn. I have been with eAssist for 15 years I've been in the dental field for 15 years and with eAssist for 5. I am a coffee addict because I come from Italy and that's where I blame it from. As a brand promise advocate, I coach members of our eAssist dental billing platform on best practices and on a wide range of practice management softwares. My all-time favorite things are ensuring dental billing processes are followed, dental practices are profitable, and can't forget my lazy Sundays watching football with my cat and gardening. Just a few things about me. Okay, so why are we here? What does eAssist do? Well, we take pride in knowing that we invented the optimized revenue cycle management and front office services for dentists. For more than 10 years already, eAssist has been putting more money back in the pocket of the nation's dedicated dentists, reducing the stresses of their teams, and creating more reliable cash flow. Our team of dental billing experts serve over 2,200 dental offices and DSOs. And to date, unbelievably, we have collected more than $7 billion from insurance companies. How can eAssist help your practice succeed? Well, we've got a slew of services. Our biggest one is dental insurance billing and aging. That's what our foundation came from. And from there, we've developed insurance ready credentialing, insurance verification and eligibility, dental practice, accounting, bookkeeping and payroll, patient billing statements and calls, and full schedule patient recall and retention. And we like to brag about it. We have been launched into new heights thanks to our amazing success consultants across the platform. We've got the awards to prove it, and we definitely love bragging about it. So, which dental billing processes are most commonly skipped and why? Why dental billing processes can make or break patient care, employee retention, paying the internet bill, and more. How to ensure all dental processes are followed for practice profitability are some of the topics we're going to be going over today. So, quick poll taking kind of gets you in the mindset of what we're talking about today. How would you rate your current dental processes on a scale from 1 to 10? So, kind of think insurance and patient collections. Is it steady? Are your accounts receivables growing? Are they decreasing? Is that a good or bad thing? Be interesting to see. We'll give a few minutes for that.
Perfect. Yep, we start getting the results in.
This would be really good to see.
Absolutely. So right now it looks like we have 47 to 48% rating at a 7 to 8 and 19% rating at a 5 to 6. And
All
these
right.
numbers changing, yeah.
So we've got some areas of improvement, it sounds like. All right, well, getting into that. The missed billing steps are what the insurance companies are counting on. They are also in business to make money, so they want to pay out as little as possible. This is why completing all dental billing processes correctly is crucial. So, given with the results of the poll, we know the importance of it, and we know that there's something obviously that isn't totally satisfying in majority of our offices today, right? So I like to call dental billing a game. You got to know the rules to be able to win, right? Sometimes insurance companies aren't the ones creating these guardrails. We can get mad at them all we want, but sometimes it's actually the employer or the group that specifically asks for benefits to not be available or to be available. So it might seem like insurance companies want to deny everything, but really the rules just haven't been learned yet. How do we find out these rules? Insurance verification. This is the best way to familiarize yourself with what is available to work with. Unfortunately, majority of claims are denied due to inaccurate patient and insurance information. And that's unfortunately the wrong questions aren't, or the right questions aren't getting asked at the time of verification. So this could really get an office into trouble. Without knowing what fee schedules or what percent is available for a procedure, patient portion collections can be incorrect, resulting in loss of revenue and angry patients. So it's very important to make sure that you do have dental administrators that know and have the time to properly verify these benefits and ask the correct patient questions. And did you know approximately two-thirds of Americans are enrolled in private insurance, and 76% of those are PPO, whether we like it or not. Okay, so time accurate claim submission. This is another big one. Claims are often denied due to incorrect CDT codes, missing documentations and attachments, or severe delays in submission, timely filing. There's a massive amount of codes to bill in dentistry. Using the incorrect CDT code multiple times can actually trigger insurances to audit or place providers on a focus review indefinitely. Providing insufficient information and evidence can also trigger these audits. Without an up-to-date coding resource, dental practices risk having claims denied unnecessarily. There are new codes every year and always some sort of a replacement code. It is vital to stay up to date with changes, especially if a new code emerges that is incredibly beneficial, like the gingivitis code D4346 that just came out not too long ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a time where we were walking a tightrope determining when SRPs were covered and when they weren't. A golden rule to remember: claims should be sent within 24 hours of completing services. Get your clean claims out within 24 hours of performing those services so you can get paid quicker. And did you know, even dentists who do not participate in dental plans must accurately report every procedure and are subject to audit by the patient, state board, and agency. So very, very crucial. Pro tip: good dental billers have extensive training in dental billing and coding best practices from mentors, newsletters, or comprehensive coding workshops. There's a ton of resources out there. Unfortunately, inexperienced dental billers learn by trial and error, which is sometimes dangerous to the practice, the dentist, and the person submitting claims. So 15 years ago, when I was learning by trial and error, it wasn't a bad thing that I was learning because I was learning a lot. But while I was learning, my office wasn't getting reimbursed in a timely manner. Where it can be dangerous is if the biller is sending the wrong codes unintentionally, or maybe even the treatment plan wasn't even billed or even completed. Correct coding often results in higher revenue as practices obtain reimbursements that were once left unpaid because of misunderstanding or misreported codes. I think I can speak for eAssist as a whole when I say it's exciting when we find the appropriate code to bill for something that was previously denied because of a misunderstanding. One of the reasons why I got into dental billing is I love researching codes. I love finding the right code for the right treatment to get that reimbursed. Of course, the goal is to get the correct information out the first time, but there are times when maybe a limited quad of SRPs should have been billed instead of a full. Insurance AR follow-up. The majority of dental administrators don't have the time to devote to hours on the phone with insurance companies. I can guarantee you everyone in eAssist has experienced over an hour-long hold time with insurances, at least once. This is a hold time, not even including actual getting information. Imagine sitting on the phone while discussing treatment with a patient. What happens when the rep all of a sudden comes on the phone? I can tell you from a treatment planner perspective, not good. There must be dedicated time available to ensure that revenue is coming back within the same month of treatment. Revenue is left on the table when claims are not followed up on for payment. We see it often. Even with our wonderful electronic submission systems, claims just don't get received. In our industry, every day, even Saturdays and Sundays count. There are insurances out there, especially Medicaid, that have strict 90-day filing deadlines. Insurance claims should be followed up on every 14 days. We've proven at eAssist that this is a successful formula in maintaining claim turnaround. Timely appeals sent when necessary. If a claim follow-up is consistent, denials needing appeals can be found and tackled right away, sometimes even before the denial EOB gets to the office. And did you know the average time on hold with an insurance company is 43 minutes per claim? Per claim. This means you need dental experts with time, experience, and dedication. Can't stress that enough. Another pro tip: pull insurance and patient agent reports regularly. Review all outstanding balances over 30 days old and follow up to collect that outstanding revenue. Know your billing software and which reports to use. Softwares like Dentrix and EagleSoft have a multitude of reports, oftentimes saying the same thing in a different lingo. So make sure you're using the right reports and you know how to read them and they're informative for you. Patients notice when they have to compete for the attention of the office staff, and they can certainly feel the stress and tension when the administrative priorities are centered somewhere else. As a patient myself, I can totally see this in any type of dental office or even medical office, really. Patients lose trust when appointments are rushed and they feel that they are on an assembly line. Experience is impersonal and they don't feel cared about. They receive an EOB showing a denial due to an office mistake, or an unexpected statement is received for an additional payment. Did you know the number one reason patients leave a dental practice is because they feel neglected? A close second after that is feeling deceived by an incorrect treatment plan. Patients' retention suffers when staff is too busy to make a personal connection. Office phone is often busy or goes to voicemail. Concerns, roadblocks to treatment plan acceptance aren't heard, maybe due to lack of time. Basically, miscommunication is one of the leading causes of patients not returning. Did you know the average patient retention rate is 40%, which means 4 out of every 10 new patients return to the practice? Crazy statistics to me, honestly. The ideal patient retention rate should be 85. Another pro tip: the entire staff should be focused on patient care, patient experience, and growing the practice via scheduling, marketing, and acquisition. If your patients feel cared for, they will be loyal to you. Something small like front staff remembering to remind a patient to pre-med during appointment confirmation can make a huge emotional bank account deposit in the relationship. If you don't know what an emotional bank account is, I encourage you to read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. We are huge fans of it at eAssist and follow it to a T. Very important that front staff knows how to do this. Now, you can have great staff, but even the staff can feel overwhelmed, right? So employee retention can sometimes suffer. And that happens if daily task lists are overwhelming, goals are unattainable without proper support and action, phone is ringing off the hook with angry patients, rescheduling of appointments, emphasizing is not on the professional and emphasizes not on the professional and personal growth. Most of us at eAssist have office experience. During my days as a treatment planner, it was difficult to discuss treatment planning while the phones were ringing. By the time I had 2 lines on hold, I was getting nervous, and the patients waiting were losing interest. It affects the office if those appointments don't get scheduled. And practice real estate. Are your front desk administrator taking up real estate in your office that is best utilized towards increasing practice revenue? Does it make the most sense for them to spend hours on the phone with insurance companies or scheduling appointments? Food for thought. Practice overhead can suffer when attention is not kept on key performance indicators and results. Team focus is not on what grows the practice, the patient. Practice hourly overhead rate exceeds practice hourly revenue. Patient retention and acquisitions are low. Communication and awareness are key. So, in case you don't know what KPIs are, key performance indicators are quantifiable measures used to evaluate the success of the organization, employee, etc., in meeting objectives for performance. What measures do you use to evaluate practice successes? And we've got another poll to get us more in the mindset here. What is your average monthly collection ratio percentage? I've seen it in eAssist. Sometimes dentists do not know. They do not track this information. So we at eAssist try to put it in your face. We want you to be aware of what your collection ratio is. Everybody a few minutes.
Perfect. Yep. Results are coming in.
Everybody is going to say consistently over 98%. I can feel it.
Well, so far, 42% say 90 to 98, and 13 consistently over 98%. And then we have 19% that say 70 to 80, and 9% that say less than 70%.
Okay. Wow, we got all sorts of variety of answers there.
Mhm.
So yeah. So how does your collection ratio compare to the ideal? Well, sounds like everybody is doing above average. Everyone's doing fantastic. The ideal gross collection ratio for a dental practice should be at least 98% each month. On average, looks like it's about 91. Over 2/3 of dentists are leaving 9% of collectible revenue on the table each month. 70% of dentists, to be exact. That's incredible. 9% can make a positive impact to anyone's bank account, even my own little checking. And when we break that down, there's a good chance that you are missing dental billing steps are causing you, there is a good chance that your missed dental billing steps are causing you to lose revenue. Take a look at this breakdown here. So, say you're a dental practice, your annual revenue average is 1.5. 9% of that is 135,000. So, in contrast, the numbers might not seem too big, but holy smokes, you break it down, you could do a lot with that much of a difference. Adding that up together, say that practice sticks around 30 years, they are not collecting 4 million of that. Just another food for thought, breaking it down by numbers. So, what would collecting an additional 9% mean for your practice? You're already paying your overhead, your payroll, your utilities, your supplies, et cetera, et cetera. A 9% collection boost would be pure profit. Imagine the possibilities with that extra revenue coming in, whether it is updating at whatever, spoiling the staff, could go to much more. Delivering peace of mind. So eAssist cuts out the daunting tasks of dealing with insurances while offices focus on their patients' health and well-being. Collectively, as a whole, we have over 10,000 years of combined dental experience. Can you believe that? 10,000. Dentistry hasn't even been around that long. We know the game and we know how to win. Again, we've helped practices collect more than 7 billion since our inception, and our goal remains the same today, delivering peace of mind to our clients and their patients. Does it make sense to discuss how eAssist can help you collect that 9% of what you're leaving on the table from insurance carriers? This is another poll we're taking. Another food for thought. 9 is my lucky number, so I found this very appropriate to see the average of 9% pop up. It's incredible. I don't think anyone could say no to this. We'll have that in. And kind of keep collecting on that. It's definitely always a positive impact. Anytime you're able to add revenue to your practice, not just for growth as well, but for success. It opens up so many doors when you have that extra room um, to invest in however way that you need to for your office to better yourself, your staff, your uh, patients as well. Right. And so now I'm going to open up to Q&A. If there are any questions, I know we kind of went through that a little fast. I have a tendency to ramble, so I have no problem in taking this time to answer any questions that I may not have been clear about, anything at
Perfect.
all.
All right. And just a reminder, anyone can ask a question on the Q&A section of your control panel on Zoom. We do have a few questions. The first one is, how do remote success consultants communicate with offices?
Okay, communication is huge for us. I know being remote, it seems like we are not accessible and that we just kind of hop in, but we actually are another staff member, just a little bit of an invisibility cloak on. Um, we always encourage weekly huddles to discuss findings and any game plans. So we get very permissive about that. And our phones, our inboxes are always available to our clients. So we are around. We're just maybe not sitting in that chair, taking up some of that real estate we were talking about.
Okay, great. We have another question here. It says, we have insurance companies that refuse to accept e-claims. We have their correct pay or ID, group number, and member ID, but company is claiming that they don't have it. They get and process the mailed claims. Can they continue to do this legally? How do we stop them if we don't want the mail claims?
So that's interesting. So it sounds like that there is a payer ID, so the insurance does allow for electronic submissions, but claims just aren't getting received
Yeah, it seems like the
using that
insurance
same.
company is claiming that they don't have it.
So it might be something in your clearinghouse. There might be some misinformation between whichever system you're using for submissions and with the insurance itself. So if they are not responding or if they're not getting those claims timely, I would definitely take it up with the clearinghouse and find out what's going on because I'm sure your clearinghouse is also charging you for those multiple submissions. So definitely get with them. There's nothing legal you could do about it, unfortunately. How, however, insurances accept the claims, we have to follow those. I know that there are some of those smaller insurances out there that aren't connected to any type of e-claims or electronic submissions and do require uh, printed paper. So unfortunately, you will have to get with the insurance and follow however they want the claim submissions to be. Side note, I know of an insurance company out there that wants us to fax x-rays and photos, but wants us to send the claims electronically and then separately fax the attachments. Had to do it to get involved. So unfortunately, you can't do anything with that. You're gonna have to figure out what's going on and resolve it with them.
Okay, great. Thank you. We have another question here that says, any recommendations on PPO fee schedule increases?
Yeah, you're always open to negotiate fees with insurances. I know our credentialing service helps with that as well. I know of doctors that have typed up letters and have just gotten with their insurance reps. But you definitely can. You can totally negotiate fees. I also recommend billing your UCR fees on your claims to the insurance and not your contracted fees. If you bill with your full fee, that gives them an idea of what the average fee for treatment is in the area. And that actually helps insurances determine when and how they want to update fees. So I definitely encourage do some negotiating when you can and bill out using UCR fees.
Perfect. Thank you. Another question reads, can you perform billing services for offices that are using charts, or does the office need to be completely digital?
Yes, digital. Yes, unfortunately, because we're not in the office, we don't have access to those paper claims when we need them or the paper information when we need it. Um, I'm sure there's ways where you are able to transfer your paper and maybe scan it into the charts, but there definitely has to be some electronic working in order for us to properly work and get everything going.
Okay, thank you for answering that one. We have another question here that says, do you fight for clean claims that aren't paid?
Absolutely. Yes, depending on what it is, of course. We can't, if something is just flat out non-covered, we can't really do much about that. But if maybe a crown denial, we see a lot of buildups are considered inclusive. We don't take that as the final answer. We definitely appeal more than one time. Our golden rule is about two or three, depending on the case. We do fight that two or three times. We provide all the information that we could find and we follow up on it aggressively. Absolutely. That's one of our favorite things to do is fight with the insurance and prove them wrong.
Okay, great. It looks like all of our questions are answered. If there are any additional questions, you can always email us at webinars@henryschein.com and we can pass them along to Ashley. But thank you again, Ashley, for the great presentation this evening. And thank you to eAssist for sponsoring this webinar. If anyone has any outstanding questions, again, please email us at webinars@henryschein.com. And as a thank you for attending, everyone will receive the recording via email in the next week. Thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on future webinars.
Thank you so much and good luck to everyone out there.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.